Deep within a sun-dappled forest there lived a peacock with feathers like 1,000 rainbows. His plumage was a dazzling array of colors, each feather shimmering with hues of emerald, sapphire and gold. The forest was his kingdom, and he was its undisputed king of beauty. Sunlight danced upon his emerald and sapphire plumes, setting them ablaze with color. Each morning, as the first rays of the sun pierced through the canopy, the peacock would position himself to catch the light just right, creating a spectacle that left the forest in awe. Every day the peacock strutted through the forest, his tail feathers trailing behind him like a king's robe. He moved with a grace and confidence that spoke of his awareness of his own beauty. The forest floor seemed to part for him, as if even the earth respected his magnificence.
Oh, look at him. Isn't he just magnificent? The animals would gather in small groups, their eyes wide with admiration and a hint of envy. They whispered among themselves, sharing tales of the peacock's latest display.
The other animals marveled at his beauty. They would stop whatever they were doing just to catch a glimpse of him. The forest seemed to hold its breath whenever he appeared, as if time itself paused to admire his splendor. The deer would pause their grazing, their soft eyes wide with admiration. They stood still, mesmerized by the peacock's radiant feathers, their gentle hearts filled with a mix of awe and longing. The monkeys would chatter excitedly, pointing at the peacock's shimmering display. Their playful nature seemed to be momentarily subdued by the sheer beauty before them, their usual antics replaced by gestures of admiration. Even the butterflies seemed to flutter around him in awe, their wings like tiny stained glass windows. They danced in the air, creating a living mosaic of colors that complemented the peacock's own vibrant display.
Yes, yes, admire me. Look at my splendid feathers. The peacock's voice was filled with pride, his head held high as he basked in the adoration of the forest creatures. He loved the attention and reveled in the admiration that came his way.
The peacock, reveling in the attention, would puff up his chest. His feathers would fan out in a magnificent display, each one catching the light and reflecting it in a dazzling array of colors. He stood tall, a picture of regal splendor, and shake his feathers with a rustling sound. The sound was like a gentle whisper, a reminder of his presence and his unmatched beauty. It was a sound that the forest had come to associate with grace and elegance. He believed he was the most magnificent creature the forest had ever seen, and perhaps he was right. For in that sun-dappled forest, amidst the whispers of the trees and the songs of the birds, the peacock stood as a testament to the beauty and wonder of nature. High above the forest floor, in the branches of a wise old oak tree, there lived a small brown sparrow. This oak tree, with its gnarled branches and thick canopy, had stood for centuries, witnessing the ebb and flow of forest life. It was a sanctuary for many creatures, but none as observant as the little sparrow. The sparrow, though small and unassuming, had a presence that was hard to ignore. He wasn't colorful like the other birds, but his eyes, like tiny black beads, sparkled with wisdom. These eyes had seen countless sunrises and sunsets, and they held stories of the forest's many secrets. Unlike the vibrant parrots or the majestic eagles, the sparrow's feathers were plain and brown. Yet there was a certain charm in his simplicity. He didn't need bright colors to stand out. His keen observations and gentle demeanor made him unique. His eyes, always alert, missed nothing. They sparkled with a depth of understanding that came from years of watching and learning. The sparrow spent his days perched high in the oak tree, observing the forest unfold beneath him. He watched the seasons change, the animals grow and the forest thrive. The sparrow spent his days watching the forest unfold beneath him. He saw the deer graze in the meadows, the rabbits scurry through the underbrush, and the squirrels leap from branch to branch. Each day brought new sights and sounds, and the sparrow took it all in with quiet appreciation.
Ah, the forest is so full of life and lessons. Every creature, big or small, has a role to play. The sparrow knew this well. He had seen the intricate web of life that connected all the forest's inhabitants. There's always something new to learn. There's always something new to learn. The forest was a living, breathing entity, constantly changing and evolving. The sparrow marveled at the resilience of the plants, the adaptability of the animals, and the harmony that existed among them.
He listened to the wind whisper secrets through the leaves. The rustling of the leaves was like a symphony, each note telling a different story. The sparrow had learned to understand these whispers, finding comfort in their familiar sounds, and observed the animals going about their daily routines. He saw the foxes hunt, the birds build nests, and the insects go about their busy lives. Each creature had its own rhythm, its own way of contributing to the forest's balance. The sparrow, unlike the peacock, didn't seek attention. He found joy in the simple things, the warmth of the sun, the taste of ripe berries, and the melody of the forest. He knew that true happiness came from within, from appreciating the beauty in everyday moments. He found joy in the simple things, the warmth of the sun, the gentle caress of a breeze, and the soft rustle of leaves. These were the moments that made life beautiful. The taste of ripe berries, plucked fresh from the bush. Each berry was a burst of flavor, a reminder of the forest's generosity, and the melody of the forest, the songs of the birds, the rustling of the leaves, and the distant calls of animals created a symphony that was both soothing and invigorating.
True beauty comes not from outward appearance. It is found in the heart and mind, in the kindness we show and the wisdom we gain. The sparrow, with his simple ways and profound insights, was a testament to this truth. But from a kind heart and a wise mind. In the end, it was the sparrow's gentle spirit and keen understanding that made him truly remarkable.
One sunny afternoon, the peacock decided to put on a show. He spread his tail feathers wide, creating a magnificent fan that shimmered with all the colors of the rainbow. The other animals gathered around, their eyes filled with awe.
Look at me! Am I not the most beautiful creature you have ever seen?
The animals all nodded in agreement except for the little sparrow. He watched from his branch in the oak tree, a small smile playing on his beak.
True beauty isn't something you boast about. It shone from within.
He knew that true beauty wasn't something you boasted about, it shone from within. Unbeknownst to the peacock, a hunter had entered the forest. He had heard tales of the bird with the 1,000 rainbows and was determined to capture it. The hunter carefully set a trap, a net woven from thick ropes hidden amongst the vibrant flowers that grew at the edge of the clearing.
My reflection is so captivating.
Blinded by his vanity, the peacock paid no attention to his surroundings. He continued to strut and preen, captivated by his own reflection in a pool of water. The other animals, caught up in the spectacle, didn't notice the hunter either. With a swift movement, the hunter pulled on his rope.
Sound effect, the whoosh of the net flying through the air. The net flew through the air and trapped the peacock, ensnaring him in its cords.
The peacock struggled in vain, his cries of alarm echoing through the forest. The other animals scattered in fear, but the little sparrow watched from his branch, his heart filled with concern.
Sparrow, help me!
Cried the peacock, his voice filled with panic.
Don't worry, I'll help you.
The sparrow quickly flew down from his branch. His voice was calm despite the danger.
I'll help you.
The sparrow noticed a group of field mice scurrying nearby. He called out to them, explaining the situation. The mice, known for their sharp teeth, were hesitant at first, but the sparrow pleaded with them, reminding them that every creature in the forest depended on one another.
All right, we'll help.
Touched by the sparrow's words, the mice agreed to help. They gathered around the trapped peacock and began to gnaw at the ropes of the net with their small but sharp teeth. The peacock, watching the mice work tirelessly, felt a pang of shame. He realized that his vanity had blinded him to the danger and put him in this predicament. Finally, with a snap, the last rope gave way. The peacock was free.
I'm free!
He stepped out of the ruined net, his heart filled with gratitude.
Thank you, everyone.
The peacock looked at the little sparrow, his eyes shining with newfound respect.
Thank you, you saved my life.
Remember, true beauty comes not from how we look, but from how we act. Humility and kindness are far more valuable than pride and vanity.
The peacock, humbled by the experience, lowered his head.
I understand.
From that day forward, the peacock was a changed bird. He no longer strutted around the forest with an air of superiority, flaunting his vibrant feathers to make others feel small. Instead, he walked with a newfound humility, his head held high, not out of arrogance but out of a deep sense of inner peace and understanding. He learned to appreciate the other animals for who they were, not for how they looked. The peacock began to see the unique qualities and strengths that each animal possessed. The rabbit's quick thinking, the deer's graceful movements, and the owl's wisdom all became sources of admiration for him. He realized that beauty was not just about appearance, but about the essence of one's character and actions. He used his beauty not to boast, but to bring joy to others. The peacock would spread his feathers in a magnificent display, not to show off, but to entertain and bring smiles to the faces of his friends. His dances became a source of joy and celebration in the forest, a reminder that beauty is best shared and enjoyed together, and he always remembered the lesson he had learned from the wise little sparrow. True beauty shines brightest from within. The sparrow's words echoed in his mind, guiding his actions and thoughts. He understood that kindness, humility, and a generous spirit were the true markers of beauty, far more enduring than any physical appearance. The peacock and the sparrow became the best of friends. Their bond grew stronger with each passing day, built on mutual respect and admiration. They spent countless hours together exploring the forest, sharing their dreams, and supporting each other through thick and thin. They often sat together in the branches of the old oak tree, sharing stories and laughter, their friendship a testament to the power of humility and kindness. The oak tree became their favorite spot, a place where they could reflect on their journey and the lessons they had learned. Their laughter echoed through the forest, a melody of true friendship and understanding. The other animals learned a valuable lesson that day as well. They saw how the peacock had transformed and were inspired to look beyond appearances. They began to value each other's unique qualities and strengths, fostering a community of acceptance and love. They learned that even the smallest creature could achieve great things with a kind heart and a wise mind. The forest became a place where every animal, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant, was valued and respected. Acts of kindness and wisdom were celebrated, and the forest thrived as a result. And so life in the forest continued, filled with beauty, laughter, and the enduring power of friendship. The peacock's transformation had a ripple effect, creating a harmonious and joyful community. The forest was alive with the sounds of laughter and the sight of animals helping one another, a true testament to the value of inner beauty and the strength of genuine friendships.